Ladies and gentlemen, Vice President Bikin Xiao, Republic of China, Taiwan has arrived. Please welcome Her Excellency Vice President Xiao. 让我们掌声欢迎中华民国萧美琴副总统莅临会场。我们有请副总统呢准备上台致欢迎词。Now to welcome all our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, join me once again in welcoming Her Excellency Vice President Bikin Xiao to the stage. 让我们掌声欢迎萧美琴副总统。
Secretary General Wu of the National Security Council, General Huo Shouye, Administrator James Barrows of the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency, Chief Scientist Adam Amara of the UK Space Agency, Acting Director Karen Lang of AIT, President Carl Wagner of the American Chamber of Commerce, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. 我首先要感谢所有全社会防卫韧性委员会的委员们，在过去1年来投入全社会防卫韧性的工作，那在许多的演练以及会议当中提出宝贵的意见，同时也以你们的专业来协助总统所领导的全社会防卫韧性的工作，让台湾能够更安全、更具韧性。I'm very honored to echo President Lai's very warm welcome and thank you to all of the distinguished guests and experts who have joined us from afar for this Whole of Society Defense Resilience International Forum. I also want to thank the foreign diplomats and representatives who are based in Taiwan for your continuing and ongoing partnership with our government and with our society in these same efforts. This international conference marks a 1-year anniversary of President Lai's initiative to organize our whole of society in joint resilience efforts in defending our homeland. I especially want to thank those experts who have come from countries who are facing similar challenges in maintaining societal resilience, for sharing your expertise, sharing your experience. I know today's forum it's been a long day, but today's forum has involved all the 5 key pillars of the Whole of Society Defense and Resilience Initiative. It has also brought together many NGOs, experts, and also members of Taiwan's civil society who have engaged in dialogue with our committee members over the past year, but also as we move ahead in furthering and deepening our resilience. In recent years, the global landscape and international environment has been changing rapidly. From conflicts and wars in Europe, in the Middle East, and also geopolitical challenges in our own region. We are also dealing with, at the same time, significant natural disasters, earthquakes, typhoons, extreme weather patterns that have deeply impacted our societies. At the same time, other man-made incidents, such as sabotaging the undersea cables, communication lines, and energy pipelines, continue to remind us that societal security and infrastructure resilience have become common challenges faced by many nations around the world. We're also dealing with the deep penetration of digital technology, which has given rise, of course, to many new opportunities for our people, but also new threats, cyber attacks, disinformation, and vulnerabilities in our critical infrastructure. These are also challenges that confront democracies worldwide. I think the presence of our international partners here today is also a demonstration that Taiwan is not facing these challenges alone. And neither are these challenges unique to Taiwan. I know many of you are also grappling with the impact of such complex and hybrid threats. Around the world, governments are building their own systems of societal defense resilience, and many of those experiences, of course, have been shared with the Taiwanese people through today's forum. Our aim is to ensure that in times of crisis, every citizen is first capable of self-help and then helping others. Likewise, we need to mobilize every profession and industry who should clearly understand the contributions that they can make to our society in critical moments, whether it is supporting their own families and communities, but also in working alongside government in overcoming the challenges that our broader society faces. Over the past year, and as you will further hear, not only in today's forum, but in a few minutes from Minister Liu and also Mr. Lin from our National Security Council, Taiwan has continued to strengthen our own disaster preparedness and defense measures. We have reinforced critical infrastructure, enhanced our information and communication systems, and introduced tools such as mobile applications and emergency kits to make readiness part of our daily life. The central and local governments have worked hand in hand while also drawing on the strengths of our civil society. And I thank many of the civil society representatives who have also become invaluable members to the Whole of Society Resilience and Defense Committee. Recently, we've also issued a national safety guideline for times of crisis. I'm sure many of you have seen our little orange book, the brochure, and I understand that there have been remarks today commenting that this little orange book is in many ways superior in its usefulness to some other red books that we are aware of. These guidelines are intended to weave together a whole of society safety net as well as awareness so that we can better respond to both natural disasters and security challenges. I firmly believe that Taiwan's resilience is our strongest shield. Now, finally, let me once again express my heartfelt gratitude to all the participants in today's forum. I want to thank you for your expertise, but also for your encouragement and support, and hope that this is just one landmark within a long and substantial partnership that we want to continue to build. And of course, again, I want to thank all of our Whole of Society Defense Committee members who have been solid partners contributing to all the efforts that we have been building over the past year. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy tonight's dinner after a long day of very serious discussions. And although I do expect that these serious discussions will be carried on throughout dinner, I hope especially those friends who have come from afar and who are in Taiwan for the first time will also have a few moments to enjoy the good food and hospitality of the Taiwanese people. Thank you. 谢谢.
Thank you very much to Vice President Bikin Xiao for her remarks. 我们再次掌声谢谢萧美琴副总统，有请副总统先行回座。Vice President Xiao, you may return to your seats. All right, ladies and gentlemen, between us and dinner, there are only 2 more presentations. Okay, all right. 好的，接下来是我们专题报告的时间哦。Firstly, to talk about the development and preparedness of whole of society defense resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming 施访刘 Minister of the Interior. 让我们首先欢迎内政部刘世芳部长，我们分享全社会防卫韧性发展以及准备。
Thank you. Don't worry about it. It will just take 15 minutes. Vice President Kim Xiao and Joseph Wu from National Security Council and all the friends of our members of the whole society and all the international friends, good evening. Here comes a very short brief of the final report. I just want you to know, to understand that what have we done for last year. First of all, I would like to give you a very short introduction that when we facing the disaster or emergencies, we have our final goal. First of all is maintain the continuous government operation. And second of all is sustain the core functions of a social livelihood. And finally is support military missions when necessary. And we comes out have 5 core principles. The first principle is for civil force training and utilization. And the secondly is strategic material preparations and critical supply distribution. Third one is energy and critical infrastructure operations and maintenance. And the fourth is social welfare, medical care, and evacuation facilities readiness. And the fifth one is information, communication, transportation, and financial network protection. For those 5 core principles, we have come out different core objectives. The first one is establish a civil force with a moderate operational capacity, and to strengthen civil force participation in duties and exercise, and enhance public-private collaborative capacity. For the second principle, we have 3 core objectives. First is satisfy the basic daily material requirement of the people and ensure the provision of food and other critical necessities, and to establish a strategic materials inventory and life support allocation system. For the third principles, we have come out 3 core objectives. Ensure the stable operation of energy and critical infrastructure, to maintain electricity and energy supply, and to strengthen critical infrastructure protection. The fourth principle come out 3 core objectives here is provide sufficient medical security protection facilities for the public, ensure sufficient medical care for the casualty of the military and civilian, and guarantee proper and safe evacuation for the public. The fifth principle come out 3 core objectives too, to ensure the resilience of critical communications, transportation, and financial sectors, and to establish trustworthy communication platform, and to ensure secure information and communication systems. For those 15 core objectives, we have come out the different solution like this way. For the first principle, we have trained critical civil force and promote disaster relief volunteers. And nowadays, we have more than 65,000 volunteers ever since the committee has formed this year. Second, establish this disaster relief coordination center and conduct realistic simulation exercise. For the principle 2, here we have a store rations and food to expand wartime food reserves and to adjust distribution mechanisms. For the third principle here, the implementation strategies is, first one is to develop diverse energy sources, and the second one is strengthen the power grids, and the third one is strengthen counter-terrorism capability and infrastructures protection. For the fourth principle, we have the implementation strategies and have 4. First of all is enforce resilient nation medical plan and assess medical facilities and training. And the second is inventory shelters and air raid evacuation sites. Third one is established emergency life support facilities for DRCC and villages. The fourth is enhanced fire protection and evacuation facilities in public buildings. For the last principle, the fifth one, we have a 3 implementation strategy. First is ensure information security, and the second is enhance cybersecurity capabilities. And the third one is conduct drills for transportation and financial hubs. For those implementation strategy, we will continue to work together with all the members of our committee and for all the international partners. Thank you very much. I think it's 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wow. Executive Secretary of the Committee and Minister of the Interior. 非常谢谢我们委员会的执行秘书内政部刘世芳部长的介绍。All right, and next. To give you some more information about Taiwan's National Public Safety Guide, we'd like to invite the Deputy Secretary General of National Security Council, 非凡林 to the stage. 我们有请国安会林非凡副秘书长为大家介绍台湾全民安全指引。
Yeah, I'm now feeling very guilty about this presentation because I hope I can finish that in 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So very briefly, as Vice President Xiao just mentioned that we just issued a new handbook booklet for every Taiwanese. And so this one, the title and design, you can see that it's quite different from our previous version of the civil defense booklet. But I'll dive into a little bit detail, but won't take too much time. Okay, so first of all, in terms of the goal, what's our objective of this whole of society resilience planning? I think the key points, as Minister Liu just mentioned, but I won't need to explain too much because she already explained it. But the key concept is actually defending Taiwan is not just the responsibility of the military. It's actually a duty that we should take on by ourselves. And everyone, every Taiwanese people, every citizen can have a role to defend ourselves and to participate in this work. And the editorial concept of this, the purpose is to tell people that the more prepared we are, the safer we will be. Is the key concept of this booklet. We counsel a lot of organizations and also invite a lot of international friends to give us some reference from Finland, from Czechia, from Sweden, and also we're looking at example of Israel as well, and try to use those references as the way to enhance this new booklet. So the broader constellation with our like-minded partners, but also with our local NGOs. Some of NGOs participate here in today's events. I would like to thank the Double Think Lab and also IORG and also our friends from Watch Out, and also I think Chi Ji is here. The Yan, Mr. Yan, yeah, is he here? Please give them all the big plus to thank them for their help. Yeah, please. And also, I think we try to address some of the diverse needs, including infants, including elderly people, including pay owners. We want to include those needs into this booklet. And so it's quite progressive, I would say, it's compared to a lot of different civil defense booklets. And also we'll try to make it more accessible. So we are not just printing the hard copy, we're also having a new website to introduce people for this concept. And also on 2 apps from our police administration, but also our fire agency, you can download the app and you can see the booklet information is actually on the top of the apps. So it's more accessible than a lot of different versions. And also, I think this editorial concept is aligned with the global trend. We try to, as I mentioned, that many different countries that we're looking at, Sweden, Finland, Israel, and Japan. We're using those concepts into our editing. And so 3 chapters here be listed down. The first chapter is about the advanced preparation. So we try to tell people about what you should do to better prepare yourself before the crisis. And the second chapter is about, in case of the crisis, what's your response and what should be your response to different type of crisis, including natural disaster, as we mentioned, earthquake or typhoon, or even a military invasion. And the third one is about how to protecting our home. How to protect our home. I think the key concept is we list out a lot of different ways to participate in this work, including doing volunteers and also joining military, also joining some trainings like the so-called the disaster relief volunteers. It's all been listed out, and people can just scan the QR code and to get the access to the information. So some other cases we're looking at, I just mentioned, but one of the cases is actually Sweden. This is actually one of the very important reference. Why we mentioned here, because as Secretary General Wu and also Vice President Xiao and also President Lai all mentioned that the importance to heighten our morale, the preparedness, and also our willingness to defend ourselves. I think the key concepts we not just try to mimic, but more like we try to help our society to understand is that if a country is being attacked, that it's very important for everyone to understand that we're going to sustain and we're not going to kowtow to any kind of invasion and aggression. So that's a key concept. So we use a similar sentence here in the book, try to explain that to the people. And it's actually the first time in our civil defense book we use that terms. So also we're looking at an example like Japan. Tokyo is one of the examples we're looking at. Actually, they have the very vibrant disaster relief systems. And one of the efforts they've been doing is actually educating the public through also the disaster relief prevention booklet. And it's widespread to every household in Tokyo. And we're actually trying to learn from their lessons as well. And another one is the 72 hours concept. Now in Europe, a lot of countries, in Sweden, Finland, and Czechia, they all mention that importance to prepare themselves for 72 hours, food, water, necessities, and all the things that they need. So it's being a very important trend and also the key concept for us to also help our society to understand. This is Ukraine's example. Okay. So, in final words, why we publish that? I think the key concept is also telling people that freedom and democracy did not come by chance. So, in the end of the booklet, we also tell our people to look at our nature and to look at our homeland. We post a picture of Jay Mountain in the end of the booklet. We try to remind Taiwanese people that importance, why we are doing this, why we are trying to help ourselves, why what we are defending is actually not that complicated. It's a very simple concept. It's our homeland. It's our way of life. So that's an idea we try to tell Taiwanese people. And in the end, I would like to highlight that Taiwan has a full commitment in defending ourselves. I think that people sitting here today all understand that importance defending Taiwan. But I think this concept, we need to tell more people, especially those people in the grassroots. They also need to understand why we are so, Taiwan's democracy is so precious. And this is the place that we live, and actually the way of life we have is actually not that easy to come by. So I think that's the key ideas why we are doing this. But we are going to continue and work on to deliver this handbook, little orange book, to counter the red one, and try our best to deliver to every Taiwanese people's hand. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you very much to Deputy Secretary General Fei Fan Lin. That was 7 minutes and a half. Okay, good enough. All right. Okay. 我们今天的论坛直播呢，也到这边告一段落。我们非常谢谢线上朋友们的观看哦 ，and also the live streaming of today's forum has come to an end. So for our audiences online, thank you so much for your time, and for all of us here, that means we are officially off the hook. Nobody's watching us no more, okay? All right. So we want everybody to just enjoy the very delicious food, the drinks, each other's company. Have a fun night.